Welcome everyone for this session. This session, actually a revision session. We have gone through all the points of microorganism, friends and foe. Okay, so I have arranged 3 revision lectures on this. First revision lectures already we have finished. Okay, that was useful microbes. In this lecture we are going to learn about harmful microbes. Okay, so clearly we have seen that how the microbes are useful for us, whether it is commercial uses, whether it is soil fertility, all that we have learned in that video. So in this video we are going to learn about how microorganisms are harmful for us, how they affect on us, how they make trouble for us. Okay, so let's begin with the diseases. Okay, we call them diseases causing microbes. We call them diseases causing microbes. First, we are going to see that diseases causing microbes in human beings. Okay. So before starting this point, diseases causing microbes in human beings. The biggest example I have already explained that is a COVID-19. COVID-19 is also disease which is caused by microbes. It is caused by virus. Okay, so that virus belongs to COVID family. Okay, it is invented in 2019. That's why COVID-19 the name has given for that. So along with that, diseases causing microbes, when they entered in our body, it affects on our body system. Okay, in last video I told you about vaccine. Okay, these are the useful microbes. Okay, vaccine, whatever the microbes or the germs which is present in the vaccine, they are useful microbes. And when directly the diseases causing germs entered in our body, that is harmful for us. Now, how they are useful, how they are harmful? Because that vaccine contains dead and weakened germs. That vaccine contains dead and weakened germs. That's why they are useful for us. But whenever the diseases causing germs like COVID-19 or polio, measles, chickenpox, that type of microbes or the germs enters in our body, severely damage our body system. Okay, that's why they are harmful for us. Okay, now disease causing germs, what happens to our body when they entered in our body? Okay, whenever the diseases causing germs enter in our body, they affect our body system. Firstly, the white blood cells, the protective army of our body, they destroy it. Okay, when that WBC felt weak in front of the germs, and germs take over all over our body and they started damaging our organs. Okay, once they started damaging our organs, we may suffer from that disease. Okay, so there are diseases causing germs in in human beings. Mostly they are communicable diseases. Now, what is mean by communicable diseases? Okay, these communicable diseases we have already learned in the previous chapters. Communicable diseases means what? The diseases which transfer from one person to another person. The diseases which spread from one person to another person is called communicable diseases. Okay, so now we are facing with a major communicable disease, that is COVID-19, coronavirus. Okay, we are facing it, but we are not calling it a communicable disease. We are calling it pandemic. Okay, can you tell me what is the difference between communicable and pandemic? Okay, both are the same only. Communicable means spreading from one person to another person. Pandemic also the same meaning, which is spreading, but the ratio of spreading, okay, the speed of communicable diseases not spread too much rapidly. Okay, but pandemic, when we name it as pandemic, okay, when the disease took over a huge population. Okay, if the too much population or huge population is affected by that disease, that is called pandemic. Okay, in Marathi or Hindi we can call it Mahamari. Mahamari means at once millions of people if they are suffering from that disease. So that is communicable diseases or pandemic disease. Okay, so now in human beings, how they affect in human beings? how the disease transfers from one person to another person. Okay, so that is clear that these kind of diseases, when they enter in our body, okay, they gets the harmful for our body. They convert into harmful microbes, so they are converting into the harmful substances which affect our body. Okay, so what do we call them? We call them diseases causing germs in human beings. Okay, so how they spread from one person to another person. Okay, so how they affect them? Just like, see, we have seen the video that in about coronavirus, there was a doctor who is treating to a sick person who is affected by corona. When he is treating, the germs stick to his body. Okay, when he came and sit on his place, write the prescription of other patient. Okay, through that prescription, that germs pass to the healthy person. When the healthy person carried that to the medical shop, it transferred to there, and through the medical shop, it transferred to the several people. So that is the thing that the communicable diseases spread. Okay, in communicable diseases, two things are very important for us. First, mode of transmission and the carriers. Both are near about same only. Carriers and mode of transmission. Carriers means when any animal or a human beings, we work as a carriers. Okay, suppose I am suffering from a disease, measles or chicken pox. If a healthy person contact with me, okay, the healthy persons came in my contact, so that disease passed from one person, me, to that healthy person. Okay, that person is affected by that disease. Another healthy person will be coming in his contact, it will transfer to that. Okay, so we are become the carriers. We are carrying the diseases to them. So that is the carriers. Okay. Next we are going to see about that mode of transmission. Mode of transmission means how the disease is transmitted from one to another one. Okay. So in that case we can see that the mode of transmission are differs. Okay. Mode of transmission we can consider as air, water, food and direct contact. Air, water, food and direct contact. These are the mode of transmission for communicable disease. Now here mode of transmission is how they transfer from one person to another person. Maybe a person who is suffering from tuberculosis, he is sitting in a crowded area. He started sneezing and coughing. A person who is suffering from tuberculosis is sitting in crowded area and he started sneezing and coughing. What happens to him? Okay, whatever the germs present in our body, when he sneezes and cough, those germs are thrown into the air. When the healthy person which is sitting in his premises, when he breathes that air, that germs enters in his body and he will also get suffer from that disease. So it became the mode of transmission. In that case, air became the mode of transmission. Okay. So in another case, cholera, measles. In that case, what happened? The germs are carried towards the food by the flies. The germs are presenting somewhere. The flies were sitting on the dirt, and after sitting, they carried that germs to uncovered food, whatever the food we are eating from hotels and uncovered food from roadside. The flies sit on that food items and the germs which stick to its legs, to its body, it transmits to that food, and when we eat that food, it directly enters in our body. So that is also the food also work as a mode of transmission. Water, okay. When the water flows, mostly in rainy season we find out that wherever there will be a rain, all the water flows from the road. Okay, when the water flows, it not only carries the water, but it also carries whatever it is, soil, germ, dirt, everything it carries with them. When it mixes to the source of water, which we use for drinking, and indirectly when it enters in our body through the water. Okay. And direct contact, I have already told you, just like when the person I have contact with a healthy person, it is transmitted. So these diseases, microbes, are transferred from one person to other person, and we can say cause the different types of diseases. Next we can see that how the diseases causing germs in animals. Yes. Okay. Mostly the most common disease in animals is anthrax. Okay. Mostly common disease, it is in anthrax. Okay. Mostly in animals it causes. Okay. It causes by the germs which present on the grass or the leaves. Whenever the cattle or other animals eat the grass and all that, that anthrax enters in their body and it started damaging them. Okay. So the interesting fact about that anthrax also affect to the human beings. Now here again just think about the carriers. What I said about the carriers means the one who carries the germs of that disease are called carriers. Okay. Anthrax disease, whatever the germs present on the grass, when they eat the grass, it transferred to the animals. But how they reach to the human beings? Okay. And it is a quite different fact that it enters in the we can say in human body. How it enters the body? In that case, animals work as a carriers. In this case, animals work as a carriers. They carry the germs of the anthrax into human beings. How they carry? You know that animals, most of the cattle, they are tamed animals. Somewhere they cannot take care of themselves. So human beings take care of themselves. Okay, and human beings will not do these things unnecessary. Okay, they keep the cattle or tame the cattle for the commercial uses, for the commercial purpose. Okay, when the human beings comes in the contact of the animals, that anthrax disease is transferred to. Okay, so it is transferred by the carriers such as the animals. Okay. Next, we can see that how it affects in plants. Okay, it is not only that the animals are suffered from the microbes. It is the plants, they also suffer from the microbes. Okay, we can find out that mostly the farmers uses insecticides and pesticides. What is the use of using the insecticides and pesticides? Those were the chemicals. Okay. Why they use the chemicals? They use the chemicals to kill the microbes and the germs present on the leaves or on the plants. Okay. What is the effect of that? What happens if you not spray the insecticides or pesticides on plants regularly? What happens? If you will not use it properly, it may damage the crops. Okay. It may damage the crops. So for this purpose, they use insecticides and pesticides. So what type of microbes? Okay, they kill they destroy the plants. Okay, the diseases such as red vein, okay, and wheat dust. Red vein, wheat dust, they are some kind of diseases which caused by the microbes. Okay, which caused by the microbes, and they affect that plants severely. That plants or we can say farmers cannot get the good yield of crops. Okay, if the farmers will not get the good yield of crops, you know that what is the effect of that? How it will affect? Okay, it will affect such as the plants get completely damaged and they will not give the proper grains. And once it is affected, that means farmers having troubles for getting the money. Okay, so these are the microbes that they affect on human beings, animals and plants. Okay, another one, that how they spoil our food. Yes, so mostly we face this problem in summer season. Mostly in summer season, 100% we face this problem. If we keep our food open or somewhere out of the fridge, we find out that in the morning foul smell will be there and the bitter taste will be there of that food. If you go and find out that what happens to that food, okay, bitter taste and foul smell. Sometimes we'll find out that the bubbles on that food. Okay, what happens in that conditions? Before that, we'll find out that microorganisms. I said that previously when I was explaining the lesson. I told you that the microbes need a perfect condition for germination. Okay. For the germination of microbes, it needs the perfect condition. Now here the meaning of perfect condition means what? Okay. Now we need to survive. We need to survive, right? How can we are surviving on this plant? Because these plants have a perfect condition for our surviving. We need oxygen, it is present. We need atmosphere, it is present. We need gravitation, it is present. Okay. Means whatever the necessary things needed to survive, if we get it, that is the right perfect condition for us. And the microbes start germinate when they have perfect condition, when they have moisture, when they have air, when they have temperature. Okay, air, moisture and temperature. If they are getting these three things in a perfect order, they are surviving. They are surviving. These three things, they will survive. Okay, so here spoiling of food or food poisoning, we can say that. Okay, that I will write afterwards. Food poisoning means what? So in these conditions, they will survive well. Okay, so what happens in that condition? Okay, when they start germinating in that food, they create a toxic substance. They create toxic substance. Okay, when the food gets spoiled and the toxic substance enters, that is called food poisoning. Okay. That is called food poisoning. And as you know that when we ate that spoiled food, the toxic substance entered in our body, the microbes enters in our body and they get damaged to ourselves. So it is very necessary to keep our food at the right temperature and right place. Okay. If they enters in our body, if we ate the spoiled food, we may suffer from the food poisoning, and sometimes it is very, very critical that we may cause the death also. So whenever we are eating the food, it should be sure that is a good food, not the spoiled food. Okay. We should avoid eating the stale food. We should eat fresh food. Okay. So today we have revised the topic harmful microbes. Okay. So I hope you have enjoyed this revision session. Okay. Again, there will be a last revision session. In that last revision session, I am going to explain about food preservation, common methods of food preservation, and nitrogen fixation. After that video, hopefully we will finish this lesson, and I hope that you will enjoy this lesson well, and also you have understood all the topics. Okay, we will be in next video with the help with food preservation and nitrogen fixation. That's it for now. Thank you and have a nice day.